Today we are going to discuss on regulation of glycolysis. We explained simply on glycolytic pathway in one of our previous videos. What is glycolysis? It is breaking down of a glucose molecule into two pyruvate molecules while producing 2 ATP and 2 NADH molecules through several reactions. Most of the reactions involved in glycolytic pathway are reversible. Those reactions are not using in regulating glycolysis. There are 3 irreversible reactions. One in converting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate, second one in converting fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and the last one occur when phosphoenol pyruvate PEP is converting into pyruvate. These 3 steps are using in regulating glycolysis. Why the cell wants to regulate glycolysis? When the cell is lacking energy, it accelerates glycolysis. But when it is plenty of energy, it diminishes the rate of glycolysis. On the other hand, when blood glucose levels are high, glucose is breaking down very rapidly. But when blood glucose levels are low, breaking down of glucose also become low. So for this, cell needs to regulate glycolysis. Throughout this video, we will be discussing on the regulatory mechanisms of glycolysis. So we'll come to the first reaction. It is converting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. At the end of this reaction, glucose gets a negative charge by the phosphate group. It makes glucose unable to transport back. So glucose becomes trapped in the cell. So the amount of glucose trapped inside the cell can be regulated by regulating this step. 2 enzymes are involving in doing this action. They are hexokinase and glucokinase. We'll first see what are these hexokinase and glucokinase. Hexokinase is present in all tissues, but glucokinase is present in liver and pancreas. Hexokinase likes glucose very much, which means it has a high affinity for glucose. So it adds phosphate groups to glucose, though it is present in low concentrations. But glucokinase do not like to do this action when glucose level is low. It phosphorylates, it means it adds phosphate groups only when glucose is present in high concentrations. Hexokinase can phosphorylate other monosaccharides also, but glucokinase do its action only on glucose. So how the cell regulate these enzymes? It is by allosteric regulation. What is allosteric regulation? It is regulation of an enzyme by binding of an effector molecule at a site other than enzyme's active site. Active site is where the reaction takes place, and the effector molecule binding site is called allosteric site or regulatory site. Either this binding will inhibit the reaction by changing the shape of the active site, which we call allosteric inhibition, or this binding will facilitate the reaction, which we call allosteric activation. So G6P binds to the allosteric side of the hexokinase and change the shape of the active site of hexokinase and inhibit the reaction. In contrast, glucokinase does not have an allosteric regulation. Next we come to the regulation of converting fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This is the rate limiting step in glycolysis, which means the rate of the glycolysis is depending on this reaction. Also, once fructose 6-phosphate becomes fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, it should definitely go through the glycolytic pathway. So this is the committed step in glycolysis. So the regulation of this reaction is so important in regulating glycolysis. Phosphofructokinase 1 (PFK1) enzyme is the enzyme catalyzing this reaction. It has an allosteric regulation by various molecules. We'll see one by one. First, ATP. High levels of ATP suggest that the cell has adequate energy supply, so the need for glycolysis is reduced. ATP binds to an allosteric side of PFK1 and inhibits the enzyme and reduces the conversion of fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, thus inhibit glycolysis. Next, citrate. Citrate levels indicate that the TCA cycle has reached its maximum velocity. It also reduces the need of glycolysis. So citrate also allosterically inhibits PFK1 enzyme. PFK1 enzyme also has an allosteric activation. It is allosterically activated by AMP and fructose 2,6-bisphosphate molecules. High levels of AMP means that the cell is in a low energy state. When AMP binds to its allosteric site on PFK1 enzyme, it facilitates the conversion of fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So glycolysis is activated. Fructose 6-phosphate is converting into fructose 2,6-bisphosphate by another enzyme called phosphofructokinase 2 enzyme, PFK2 enzyme. When fructose 2,6-bisphosphate levels are high, it binds to its allosteric site on PFK1 enzyme and stimulate formation of fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Cell has a separate mechanism to regulate fructose 2,6-bisphosphate levels. PFK2 converts fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 2,6-bisphosphate, and fructose bisphosphatase 2 enzyme FBP2 enzyme dephosphorylate fructose 2,6-bisphosphate into fructose 6-phosphate again. PFK2 and FBP2 enzyme are two different enzymes present in the same polypeptide. When glucagon hormone is present in high concentrations in the body, is phosphorylate PFK2 enzyme and make it inactive. Then FBP2 enzyme action becomes more than PFK2 action. So, fructose 2,6-bisphosphate levels drop. Indirectly, rate of glycolysis is also diminished. In contrast, when insulin levels are high in the cell, phosphorylated PFK2 enzyme become dephosphorylated. PFK2 is active in the dephosphorylated form, so PFK2 action become more than FBP2 action, so it increase fructose 2,6-bisphosphate levels. Thus, it stimulates glycolysis. Next regulatory step is converting PEP into pyruvate, which is done by pyruvate kinase enzyme. This is the last step in glycolysis. Excess fructose 1,6-bisphosphate produced in the second main step binds to its allosteric site on pyruvate kinase enzyme and facilitate the reaction by activating the enzyme. This regulation is also called feed-forward regulation, as the regulation is doing by a molecule produced earlier in the glycolytic pathway. In contrast, ATP binds in its allosteric site on pyruvate kinase enzyme and inhibit the enzyme, and glycolysis will not proceed further. Citrate also inhibit pyruvate kinase allosterically, as it does for PFK1 enzyme. Pyruvate kinase has a hormonal regulation by glucagon. When cellular glucagon level is increased, it phosphorylates pyruvate kinase enzyme and make it inactive. Regarding the hormonal regulation, the thing you have to remember is glucagon always phosphorylates enzymes and insulin dephosphorylates them. Glycolysis is increased during well-fed state. In well-fed state, we have plenty of glucose in our blood. The hormone present in abundance at this state is insulin. Insulin facilitates glycolysis. As a long-term effect, insulin increases synthesis of glucokinase, PFK1 enzyme and pyruvate kinase enzymes. Glycolysis is reduced during fasting state. During fasting state, our blood glucose levels are low. Glucagon is the hormone present in high levels in our body at that state. It reduces glycolysis and prevents glucose in breaking down in order to increase blood glucose concentration. So as a long-term effect, it reduces the synthesis of these enzymes which are involving in glycolytic pathway. This comes to the end of regulation of glycolysis. Like, comment and subscribe Periodica. Thank you.